It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the New Orleans Saints and the New York Giants, and it's coming up next.
It can hold over 82,000 fans, and every one of those seats is filled for this one, as our coverage of the NFL brings us to MetLife Stadium. Alongside my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott, and this is a matchup, Brock, that we may see many times in the future of this league. A couple of rookie starters leading their offenses at quarterback.
And that really does make it a measuring stick game for both of them, Kate. Rookie quarterbacks in the draft, they're always linked to each other from the moment they're tabbed the starters in their first season. And then when you get to look across and you get to play one, you know that both of them want to be the one who leads their guys to a win, because that's a victory that will be talked about, well, for the rest of their rookie season and beyond.
Here's Graham Gano out for the opening kick. And away we go from East Rutherford. To return this, Rashid Shaheed. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. So the Saints offense taking over for the first time here. And amidst the veterans, it's this rookie quarterback leading them out.
Kate, when I watch these rookie quarterbacks running out to open a game, I think of the old World Series great pitcher Cliff Lee. And he made a one-handed play in the World Series and was asked about it afterwards. They said, man, how do you have so much poise? You didn't even look nervous on that stage. And he said, sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. You got to tell yourself you'll be just fine. And these rookie QBs, that's part of the learning curve they're climbing.
And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's good for a New Orleans first down.
Now, don't think for a second they're going to slow down the tempo. Defense on their heels. And right now is the best chance to go push that envelope and get aggressive.
And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
You know what that felt like to me, Kate? That felt like a little bit of overthinking, where he's just waiting for the perfect lane and the breakaway run. But against defenses in this league, you hesitate, you get tackled for a loss.
Running back sent in motion. 2nd and 12 behind the sticks. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Back to throw. He's throwing deep to the left side. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
Here comes the Saints punting unit. And this will bring a drive that had some promise to a disappointing end. Fair catch made a little beyond the 20-yard line. So out come the Giants, their first drive of the game coming up. They'll be led out by this promising young signal caller, already a starter in his first season out of Ole Miss.
It's always fun, puts a smile on my face when I see a rookie leading an offense out. A lot of them look like 10-year vets with confidence and poise in the middle of that huddle, in the middle of their teammates. But let's watch his first couple throws. That's where sometimes you could see some of those nerves slipping through.
And the connection not quite there yet on his opening throw of the game.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams will call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, you got to count on those being efficient and effective.
Couldn't connect on first. It's 2nd down. Dropping back to throw. Oh, he loses the football. Oh, and they get it back. The play's still live. He's got to gain a 6 there. Chase Young bringing him down there. Almost the impact play this defense was searching for, but they could only get half the job done, partner. Fumble forced, but they couldn't recover.
I'll tell you what else it forces, though. That coordinator, that play caller on the other side, now got a little bit of doubt about his ball handlers. Got to have better ball security than that.
He finds Jaxson. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a massive 35-yard pickup, first down.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
Down inside the 40 now with a first down following that last play. Throwing with a blitz on the way. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on first down.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
2nd and 10 now. Catch made, Tyrone Tracy. And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. Chase Young bringing him down there.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
The Saints add a 5th defensive back here. 3rd down coming up. Looking to the air here. This is complete to Neighbors. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And the Giants will have a first down.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Still sticking with the passing game. Quick slant caught by Neighbors. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. Pickup of 12 on that play. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
From the gun, it's Tracy. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. They go right back to Tracy, and he'll push them down to the 6-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they need the same now here on 3rd down.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
Third down from the gun. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. And 4th and 4 coming up. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything, and they just did. Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
Gano ready to send this away. Shaheed now to return. This return makes it up to the 25. This New Orleans offense readied up for its 2nd drive of the contest. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They're going to start on the ground with Kamara. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches.
They stay on the ground with Kamara. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. It's a meager 2-yard gain, but that's enough to award them the first down.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No third down required now.
Going to the ground again on first. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
All right, here we go. Second down. Back now, pressure on its way. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up.
Sometimes I wish everybody could feel what that feels like. When you're a QB and you just feel the air in the pocket getting sucked out and you know there's no escape, it can be just one heck of a deflating feeling. Not for that defense who puts a sack on the board.
Defense looking to defend the marker on third down. Back to throw now. He's going to try to drop it in deep right. And they really went for it on third down, didn't they? But the heave falls incomplete. Now they're facing fourth down. This one misses the tight end. And now they're staring at fourth and long.
The offense not shy about sending them downfield to try and stretch that secondary. Even still, one of the deeper targets you'll see him get. It's a shame they couldn't find a connection.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away.
And he's brought down before the return gets far. It's a 54-yard punt that time. And it'll be Giants football. Now for the second time this game, we get a look at the New York offense. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. A give right side to Tracy. And he'll get it up to the 44. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine. And that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
Now they'll throw out of the gun. Taking the deep shot there on first down. Okay, no luck connecting. It's incomplete.
Gosh, you could just almost feel his eyes up here, Kate, getting huge, right? He was envisioning the return, and he simply dropped it. Got to secure that pick before you think of anything else.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. A handoff to Tracy. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. Only 2 yards on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 8.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
They're going to throw it on 3rd and long. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
The Giants readying to punt, and they're going to send out the lefty, Jamie Gillen, for the kick. Brings it in at the 12. And something on the return, but not much, as it still ends inside the 20. Shaheed motioning right. Kamara now on 1st and 10. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. Bobby Okereke making that stop. Only a solitary field goal so far as we're through 1 quarter. Just a field goal separates these two. We'll get back to East Rutherford after this. We're back for the 2nd quarter. Saints in possession of the football. They have 2nd and 9 for their first play. He's dropping back to throw. That's caught by Chris Olave. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Here's a give inside to Kamara. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a first down.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Another run for Kamara. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
You know, Kate, if you notice those guys that love to feed themselves on the field, right? They love to just get more and more. They're hungry for even more. I'll tell you what, that tackle, it prevented something that's going to be a lot bigger, but that back remains hungry.
Sending the tight end in motion left. Lays out, what a catch! A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
New set of downs for him from the 46. They bring their tight end left. They'll throw on 1st. That's caught. Rashid Shaheed makes the play. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. They gain 14 on the play. And the Saints are going to have a first down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Running behind center with Kamara. And they bring him down at the 25-yard line after surrendering some good yardage. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
2nd and 3 now. Shotgun snap, they're gonna throw. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete.
Boy, offenses that connect in this intermediate zone are so effective. Getting a completion in that area, it not just sparks your offense, but it just turns that aggressive meter way up. They just couldn't quite find the connection.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Run here with Kamara. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
On 4th down, out comes the Saints field goal team and Blake Grupe. From the left hash, a 40-yard look. Mickey kick is good. There's a flag down, and if this is defensive, could give him a first down. Thought he had a chance to block it, but he ends up wiping out the kicker instead, and that's going to award their offense a first down. And suddenly a chance to take the lead re-enters the picture following that penalty. First down from the red zone. To the ground it goes. That's incomplete.
Oh, that was such an opportunity lost. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points on the series. And instead, well, he just couldn't quite hang on.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Kamara running out of the gun. And this This is brought to a halt pretty early at about the 8. Give him 3 that time. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
And the Giants going nickel. 3rd down coming. Looking for a throw here. And through the back of the end zone and out of bounds.
Quarterbacks, well, they're a lot like sharpshooters in the NBA. Sometimes they're just going to miss. You've got to shake it off and keep on firing.
On 4th down, out comes the Saints field goal team and Blake Grupe. High percentage look for him here from the left hash. Nicotomney's kick is good. And we're all tied up now in the first half.
Well, that's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Here's Grupe on now to handle the kickoff. Return starts at the 3. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. Now here comes the New York offense. They struggled to produce on that last series, but better results ahead as they take possession here. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Airing it out to start this drive. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 34. He finds Slayton. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
1st and 10 from the 41. On the handoff, this is Tracy. And he's able to reach that midfield stripe after some solid running. Call it 9 yards. Looked like a first for a moment. It's 2nd and 1.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Pretty even match in this first half, and you're just kind of waiting, right? You just kind of try to get a feel for which defense is going to come to life, and when you get that sack, that could go a long way to infusing some energy on that side of the ball.
Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. He'll look to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Oh, he's going to run for it. It's out of harm's way after stringing together some nice yards on that run. So it's the 2-minute warning here from MetLife. It's the Giants with 6 to go here on 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen on again for the punt. Back deep for the Saints is Rashid Shaheed. Nice punt here, up and angled towards the sideline. And a well-placed kick here. Not quite on the goal line, but they're pinned deep at their own 10. The Saints and running back Alvin Kamara trotting back out to the field. And they settled for a chip shot field goal last time, Brock. You got to think they want to be able to finish it off and reach the end zone here. Throwing now on 1st down. Throw secured by Brandon Cooks. And they take him down at the 24-yard line. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Back to pass on 1st and 10. Fits it through the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Backfield is empty as they motion him out right. He gets it to Juwan Johnson. This is ahead for about 5. That was Kayvon Thibodeau there to wrap him up.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, just find a way to get him the ball.
And that's incomplete, but he might have done a little too much to cause that. Flag comes out, and this could be interference. He got too aggressive to try and stop that play, and they tag him for pass interference. They are throwing it again. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. We have a timeout here. Second one taken by New Orleans. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he's going to throw. That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete. Trying to find his tight end. So 2nd down coming up.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. They'll throw it again. Short pass brought in. And they'll bundle this up after a 4-yard gain. Brought to a halt by Deonte Banks. They come to the line here. This is 3rd and 6. They kick the running back in motion. To the outside and complete to Olave. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Daryl Jaxson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. And no one had a shot at that. It's at the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one, Kate. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back on track.
So the incompletion on 1st. Here's 2nd and goal. Throwing it again here. Gets it towards the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that is such a bummer. A dropped touchdown right in the end zone. We're going to see how quickly he can flush this one. He better, because they got to make it impact later.
So now, here's 3rd and goal. Throwing from the gun. And he sails that one over the end zone.
Well, you got to have a short memory in the NFL. Incompletions happen. Now you got to make the adjustment and go get the next one.
On fourth down, out comes the Saints field goal team and Blake Grupe. A pretty automatic look for him from the left. Mickey kick is good. And that's going to break our tie and give him a 3-point advantage.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. Only 10 seconds remaining here, so 1st and 10 may be our last snap of the half. He'll throw it. Connects with Slayton. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Making the stop that time, Kool-Aid McKinstry. So at halftime, the Saints fighting to an advantage on the road. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to Orlando. Turn things over to our buddy Jonathan Coachman in the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. Here's Grupe on now to handle the kickoff. Starting from the 5. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Giants offense with the football. They'll get it first in this second half. And their defense sure has kept this game close. Now it's time for them to come through, get some points for their team in this low-scoring affair. Throwing with a blitz on the way. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
One of the biggest adjustments for quarterbacks going from the collegiate level to the NFL is the blitz package. Each and every practice leading up to a game time, you are spending so much time as a QB, as an offensive group, and as that O-line trying to figure out a way to stop these blitzes. But that time, the offense, the O-line, the QB, no one had an answer for that defensive pressure.
Another try following the sack. Escapes the pocket. And they get to him again. And the back-to-back sacks. Nice work by the defense there. Sets him up with a third down.
One thing you learn about NFL halftimes, Kate, is they're a lot quicker than the college game. You got to make your adjustments in a hurry, and boy, has this defense. Back-to-back sacks, setting up what could be a very quick 3-and-out, and an early boost in the second half.
Not a good spot to punt from. They really want to convert here on third. Pass play now. He's got him. That's Tracy. And it's a nice gain, but still not enough for the first.
I'm a big fan of the screen pass. Really, you could run a screen as they just showed on any play. First, second, third down, sometimes even fourth. But it takes great acumen, a great football IQ defensively to have an awareness it's coming, and then more importantly, to stop it.
The Giants are set to punt. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. Call that a booming 56 yards in the end. And the Saints will get set to take over. Play action on first down. Launches one deep downfield. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
That play is so impressive on so many levels. Not just because it saves a touchdown, Kate. He had to time that perfectly to knock it free without drawing a flag or letting him establish possession for the score. That is so, so good.
2nd and 10 now. He's got Shaheed. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. It's a gain of 12 there. And that's good for a New Orleans first down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Back to the line they go. It's second down. They'll try and throw it here. Short pass caught by his tight end. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Brought to a halt by Deontay Banks.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Kamara's got it. And he'll go out of bounds close to the 35-yard line. That one gains 7. And the Saints are going to have a first down.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
Now they'll throw out of the gun. Into the hands of Olave. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there, brought down by Paulson Adebo.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 32. Connects with Johnson. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. They'll run with Kamara. And he's got them down to the doorstep inside the 5. That's good for 6 yards. They're going to have 2nd and goal now at the 3.
The humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. He's got it. Touchdown, New Orleans. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Blake Groupie to try the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Saints make it a 10-point ball game. Here's Groupie on now to handle the kickoff. Returnable from the 1. And this return gets to the 30 before he stopped. Oh, hang on there. Hang on a moment. Looks like we've got an injured player on the kick return. They're going to check on him now. 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll come out throwing. Got a man. Robinson has it. And he's out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
2nd and 3 now. Shotgun snap, a gift to Tracy. And he's only going to take this forward to about the 38. Call it no gain, maybe one at best on that play. That leaves him with 3rd and 2.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Here's Tracy once more. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. Pickup of 2 here. And the Giants will have a first down.
Okay, you know me, I can't resist. I thought we might have needed the old Gene Steratore index card down there, making a really close measurement to see if he got the first down or not. But in the end, well, the right call was made. He got just enough to move the chains.
They go play action on first. Finds his target, Robinson. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. 35 on the pickup. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
You know, Kay, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Now he'll throw off the play fake. Cut at the 10-yard line. And he's out of bounds after a nice pickup to the 10. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
I don't care how good a secondary you are, how loaded you are with talent. When you've got time to allow a receiver to work from one side of the field all the way to the other versus zone coverage, well, you're going to make a defense pay.
And he drives forward for a little, maybe to the 7. He'll get 3, but much work left for him on 2nd and goal.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
Now it's a bootleg for him. We're putting way too much on that one, Brock. Over the end zone and out. Took his shot at 6 that time. And now it'll be 3rd and goal.
Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back into rhythm.
They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. He'll throw it. He couldn't hang on, Brock. It looked like a touchdown, but it slips right through his hands, and now it's 4th down.
Oh, that drop is such a bummer because it ruins the payoff of such a well-designed play, Kate. Got the man open, beat the coverage, but then you got to go finish it. You got to go make that catch. I will say, keep that one in mind. They could revisit that play in the future.
The kick by Gonzalez is good, and that'll bring it back to within a score. The lead's 7.
Well, that's why they spend all the time on the practice field during the week. That kind of operation. Perfect rhythm, perfect timing, and a 2 for 2 for this kicker.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Shaheed now to return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The New Orleans offense set to go now. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. Empty backfield now. The running back motions out left. It's caught right side by Johnson. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Great start to the drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. Throwing now from the gun. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Setting up a throw. That's complete to Kamara. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. We'll see what they come up with for third down in just a bit. We've reached the end of 3. The Saints have it with a lead. Not a big one, though, trying to carry it through. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
Just get this guy touches. I don't care how, I don't care when. Just find unique ways to get this running back the ball, and over time, he's going to make you pay.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Running back sent in motion. This is reeled in by Kamara. And he'll get this down at the 33-yard line.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And with 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
From the 33 on 2nd down. Completed to his running back. A gain of a lone yard, but Brock, that's all they needed. 1st down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
They've got 1st down from the 31. Still sticking with the passing game. Underneath it goes. Catch made by the running back. And they bring him down. Looks like he got it to the 27.
Kid, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason, when one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
Here's 2nd and 5. Throwing the out route complete. And they get this all the way down to the 16-yard line. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
Okay, I know exactly what's going to happen. I've seen it once. I've seen it 100 times. Next week on the practice field, this running back's going to say, see, I'm not just a running back. I can play receiver. And you receivers, you couldn't do my job, but I just showed you I could do yours.
To the outside and complete to Olave. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards them with a 1st and goal.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
A run now with Kamara. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
Ball at the 2 here for 2nd and goal. They'll throw it. Too far out of the back of the end zone it goes. Incomplete.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
Buckle up. It's 3rd and goal. Throwing from the gun here. Looking touchdown, but can't connect. Following that incompletion, we've got an injured player on the field in need of a look from the trainers. Here's an important kick now for Blake Groupie. This is a chip shot from the left hash. Mikatomny's kick is good. And that'll push it to double digits in a two-possession game.
It doesn't take a math major, Kate, to realize how important that field goal was. It's now a two-score game really late and puts them in the driver's seat to go and finish this thing with the win.
Here's Groupie on now to handle the kickoff. Gray now on the return. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30. The Giants about to get to work on offense. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. Able to hit Robinson, complete. And he'll go down, it will say right at the 39-yard line.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Here's an option play to the left. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving.
The difference right there, Kate, between that gain and a big hit for a loss, some really quick decision-making. He made a quick read, saw the running back was going to get hit if he handed it, and he pulls it himself for a positive gain.
Play action on first down. Connects with Slayton. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Offense up to the line fast. From the 48. Finds him over the middle. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend? Do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Gets this to Slayton.
Kate, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on a drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
In a good spot here, 2nd and inches. From the 24. Has his man, it's Tracy. And he'll get them enough for a first down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Offense in the hurry up here. They'll throw it again. He's got it near the 8. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
First down from the red zone. Is in for the New York touchdown. The Giants make it a 4-point game here in the 4th. And now for the point after, and crucially to bring things within a field goal. And he connects there, so now another kick from him. Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Here's Miller on the return. And look at this return. They'll bring him down on the return as he gets this to the 33. The Saints headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. And he's brought down by a collective effort there, only 1 yard on the carry. And right away we get a timeout from the defense. 1:51 to go. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. This is Kamara. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. Timeout called, and that's going to be the second for New York. And they'll take a moment to ponder what the call's going to be on 3rd down. Looking to throw. He puts some air under this one, deep right. Wow, still throwing, and this is intercepted. Picked off by Tyler Newman. Oh, man, I'm having to hold my partner back after this one. Captain Fundamental not happy that he didn't take the time to stop and get set before delivering that football. Gotta think that in part led to the turnover.
Yeah, Captain Fundamental because I couldn't run. Kind of like Tom Brady, right? But he's the essence of it. He's the GOAT. Why? Because he sets his feet. He's so fundamentally sound. The chance of interception so much higher when your fundamentals are no good.
It's okay, partner. It's gonna be okay. So here come the Giants, ready to take over again on offense. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
The Giants moving quickly. They're in the hurry up here. He's got him. That's Tracy. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. That's good for 7 yards. And the Giants will have a 1st down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
The Giants moving quickly. They're in the hurry up here. Back to throw. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Wow, they get a big old 32 yards out of that play, as well as a new set of downs. The Giants moving quickly. They're in the hurry up here. He'll look to throw it. Got a man. Robinson has it. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line. The Giants are going to call their final timeout here. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. This one of the biggest moments of the game for Graham Gano. The Saints calling for a timeout, their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. Graham Gano and the Giants field goal unit out. From the right hash, this is going to be a 41-yarder. Looking good, and it's through. And in the final moments. They force overtime.
Overtime rested on his leg, Kate, and he got the job done. And now, well, if things go a specific way in OT, the next time we see him line up, it could be for the game winner.
Gano ready to send this away. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. They kick the running back in motion. And they don't connect there, so only 6 seconds remaining. Searching for Chris Olave with that one. So it'll be second down. Setting up to pass. He fires one deep down the middle. And that's nearly intercepted, but couldn't hang on. Just a harmless incompletion. It's third down. And hopefully this conclusion will be just as exciting as our opening 4 quarters. The kick is away here in overtime. This taken from the 12. He stopped on the return of the 27. New York taking over once again. The offense heading out. They'll get this drive started. First and 10. First throw of overtime now. He finds Jaxson. And this one does not go far.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 29. Doesn't make the connection. No luck finding his receiver that time. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Back now, pressure on its way. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Flat out a tremendous call. Perfect timing to blitz the corner, and the result proves it. There was barely time for the QB to set himself up to throw, let alone look downfield for a target before he was absolutely decked by somebody who I think enjoyed that chance to rush the passer.
They'll bring out the punter here. And in overtime, this has to be struck well. And he sends this away. Definitely his best kick of the game thus far. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. It's a 61-yard punt that time. And they'll get ready to go on offense. New Orleans back on offense and ready to go now. Their defense got off the field clean, Brock, and now their offense runs on knowing that any points are going to end this game.
Well, you want to look up complimentary football in the football dictionary, this might be the most important time for it. One side of the ball makes a stand, now the other side gets a chance to go win it.
Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. gets this to Jaxson. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on a throw, that's a go-to route to target.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. A tight end in motion now. They're going play action. And the Giants are too much. They take him down. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
I think his decision-making wrote a check that his legs couldn't catch this time. This QB can run, and he's ranging, looking for space, looking for an outlet. But there was none to be had. No escape route available this time.
Punt team on the field. And this needs to be a good one. And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. And that punt gets up to 59 yards. And it's going to be their football coming up. They've got 1st down from the 31. Throwing off the play fake here. Pass cut by Tracy. And the defense waiting for him at the line, and he goes down.
Man, the defense was all over that throw, able to stop it right at the line. They could smell that one coming, and they sniffed it out in a hurry.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Now looking to throw. We've got a screen to the running back. And he's tackled for a short gain.
It may not look like much on the stat sheet, but this is kind of good on good. An offense gets a completion, not going backwards, and the defense, well, they rallied, they pursued, and kept that screen to a minimal gain.
It's 3rd and 8, need to get a chunk here. They're throwing it. Connects with Jaxson. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 22 on that one. And it's good enough for a New York 1st down.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Throwing it again here. He finds Slayton. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. Big gain, 14 on the play. And the Giants will have a 1st down.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him in a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
They'll go left side with Tracy. And he works his way for a gain of 4.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign where they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
2nd and 6 coming up here. A give to Tracy up the middle. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. That's going to be a gain of 6, and they need only inches now here on 3rd down.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. They go right back to Tracy, and they've got him down near the red zone at the 22. Just a single yard, but that's going to be enough to move the chains.
That is your old school meat and potatoes call right there. Don't even think about throwing it. Just rush it ahead and get what you need.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Staying between the tackles with Tracy. And he'll only find 1 yard up the gut, 2nd down.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on first down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
This one of the biggest moments of the game for Graham Gano. Timeout taken by the defense, their second. As they'll be left with just one more to work with here in OT. And now the entire game rests on his next kick. This is going to be a 38-yarder from the right hash. The kick is good. He got it. And they've taken back the lead.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. But that's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
So here at MetLife, it's the G-Men who come away with the win. And they only needed to set him up with a shot to connect and win it with 3, and his aim was true to make it happen and put an end to this competitive ball game.
Well, that'll do it for us, for Brock Heward and our entire hard-working crew. I'm Kate Scott. This has been the NFL on EA Sports.
It's a well-earned win for the Giants as we say so long from New York.